Alright, a local music teacher sent over a studio monitor with a broken input jack. Let's get into it. Alright, so she had already removed all the screws to get into the back, which is okay because you gotta get in there and ID your broken part. Now sometimes these things just do not let you get them out far enough to really do any work on the board. You see the wires are pulling on the speaker wires, and I can't really get into them comfortably to disconnect them and reconnect them. So when that happens, what you want to do is go through the front and take the speaker bezel off. Let's try that. I've never taken one of these apart before. So what do you expect? Why are we hanging up here? And a tweeter LED. That's really hanging on solid. Why is that doing that? It acts like it does not want to let go of that tweeter. And I'm pretty sure we cannot get this out through the back here. Alright, let's try a different route. I know you guys can't see any of this. Tweeter is screwed on there. The black and the white. They are soldered on this board. We're not going to get to that without this board out. Why does this not let us get in here? Here we go. There we go. There we go. There's just being a little fighting. This LED may or may not have to lift that out of there. So let's do a couple things. Let's try and get this woofer disconnected. Okay, so here's our normal speakers, and they're marked red and black, so we won't mix them up. Now these are going to have the locking tabs on them. So if you see, I can go all the way to the front and I can push on this thing. I'll try and get you a close-up. If you release those tabs, maybe they don't have the tabs on. It's really tight. I think it's safety tabs on it. Just like the viewer. see how to do. It's really, really tight. Sounds like we're done. There we go. One down. Let's put it in a safe spot. We can do the same thing here. Now we do have. So we do. Let's put this back up. Yeah, we'll do this back up. Alright, hopefully we didn't lose too much audio. So here we are into the units. So what do I need to do to get this board accessible? Yeah, they sure did like putting a lot of stuff in the way. We're going to have to get that off of there to get into that. Jeez, they did not make it easy to get into that. Well, I hear the puppies call. So here's our broken connector. The first thing we're going to do is wet these joints. This thing is really destroyed. Test. So we've got a replacement. This thing took a really long time to get in. And let's check our pins. Everything looks the same. Other side of our board looks clean. Let's take a quick inspection here. Caps all look good. So I can see here, it did have for the other one with the stereo, which I had one of these that was stereo. I was half tempted to try and Frankenstein another connector into this thing. It's really tight. It's got this other board back here. But then it finally came in, so we decided to just go with what we had. See how these pads lifted a little bit off of there? Don't really like that. So we really weren't on there too long. That's really just a weak board manufacturing process. Could have been that they got ripped off too from the broken connector. is all this going on over here? All right, let's get it back together. Don't give you a lot of wire to play with, do they? Oh, look at how they glued this thing on there. So I see we've got a couple different, we've got a couple self-tapping screws that were in the XLR and a couple machine threads. And you can tell the difference because the machine threads are a finer thread. The self-tapping are a coarse, almost like a sheet metal screw. So the machine threads are going to go into the heatsink, which is a metal tapped unit. He's trying to run away. Don't know why that was on 230. I have serious doubts that they're on 230. Now before I tighten those machine threads up all the way, I'm going to start all three of them. Get them all the way down. And once they're all in, we can tighten them tight. This way, if I tighten one up all the way, it might stop the others from going in. Now, this one didn't come with a nut, and I think I'm going to want to try and find one. We can come back to that. So here's our woofer and tweeter. So down in here it's hard to see, but this one LED connector I was able to get off. and put back on the board. Well, so I say. I mean, we probably could pull the board out, but I got it on. I know a lot of this is not easy to see from your vantage point. So this one we marked with the black. This one actually has a red mark on it, so we would have been all right. So we did have a small tie wrap on there. Let's grab a tie wrap. And try and get this around this whole bundle. It looks good. We're back to where we were. Okay. We can get our woofer back in. And we were marked negative and positive. This one is actually different size spades, so can't mix those up. Very nice. So one trick with these have already been cut into the wood. So if you feel it's starting and it's resisting, you're probably not in the same thread. I kind of like to find the same thread and not cut a new one. If you need to find it, just back it out until it drops in, and you're right back into your original thread. Now I see this thing is crushed, and I thought that was a dust cap, but I believe that's the speaker cone itself. So we might try and do something with that. The original screws. Let's give it a quick power test. Before we button it up. Alright, nothing blew up yet. I think our only indication is going to be the LED. And there's our LED on. Probably can't see it, and I can hear the speaker tweaking. All right, there we got in the new jack. This was our old one, completely broken. And we'll get this wrapped up and tell the customer it's ready. Come pick it up. Like, subscribe. See you next time.